I hope you like deep thumping music, viewers, because we are back in Axiom Verge, in a new area called Absu, with a conveniently located save point right at the entrance. The term Absu, according to Google, derives probably from the Sumerian word Absu, or name, which is, in Sumerian mythology, the primordial ocean underneath the underworld. Hence, you can imagine vaguely ocean-themed stuff in here, probably. You'll see to the left of the screen there what I was talking about last time. You can see how the Absu area relates to the previous Erebu area. It's basically underneath it. Don't assume the dots there are actual individual rooms. They're not. It's just vaguely the shape of the area. Don't go around trying to find every dot in there. And that save point we can't go to the top of course. There's a lot of drillable stuff in here. Most of it's irrelevant, so don't worry about it. Except over here. You do want to go down to the side, drill through all this, and stop. There is a secret passage right here. Hold to the right. There you go. Do we get stuff for it? We do. This game does include health node fragments. They are basically heart pieces. They don't do a whole lot for us immediately. Let's go down to the bottom here real quick. The doors to the left and right don't do anything. You might think if you come from Metroid, though, that there's a secret down here. Probably behind the skeleton. And there is. You can drill through there, but you can't actually do anything with it. Why can't Axiom crawl? We can't get through there yet, and the doors just lead to dead ends, so I'm going to save those for later. I'm just going to go all the way back up. Absolutely. Not that way. And go through this door, where there are mushrooms and walking broccoli that shoots at me. Now, be very careful coming through here, because it's a broccoli trap! And there's a laser wall down there with another fragment of some sort behind it, but nothing we do can shoot through a laser wall. Not even the Nova we got previously. We'll have to find some way around that. Also, up here, you can shoot the broccoli with the Axiom Disruptor, but you can't actually jump high enough to do anything with it, so it's just death for now. Don't bother. Just keep going this way and shooting broccoli. And over here we have our first Ghoul. These things are terrifying, and you will learn to love them. For this one, just shoot it from a distance and you'll be fine. But as soon as you shoot them, they make a horrible noise and charge at you and start jumping all over the place. You will get very used to fighting ghouls. We also have these pink diatoms, is the name the wiki gives them. If you've played Arkanoid, you know what they do. And we get Bloopy bubble walls. Absolutely. Over here, there's nothing except garbage. We can't do anything about that. And the music cuts out. Why is the music cutting out? And why are the walls flickering? What's all this? I don't like this game. And I can't go back either. You actually can't jump high enough to get up that shaft again. You can eventually come back around, so don't worry about it too much. I'm getting out of here to someplace safer. This is not safer at all. This is like macabre skeletons and a ghoul. Shoot it from far away. You can't jump up here either. You'd think you could jump on tables, but no. We have to respect skeleton space, absolutely. Can I have some music game? Anything? Maybe a save point. I'll take it. Save points are good in scary areas. Can't be boss time. There's no red door, no skull. It's the giant robot face from the title screen. Her name is Elsa Nova, and she's probably the disembodied voice that's been telling us to go pick up guns. Definitely a trustworthy person, who is connected to me through mind machines, and wants a power filter fixed. But it's nowhere near here. Oh well. But we do get an item here. This is the Kilver weapon. It is actually a short-range weapon. It is actually a very good weapon, one of the few in the game that's actually as good as the Axiom Disruptor. So I'm actually going to set that to my quick select 2 there. You can't actually do anything to Elsa Nova's face, don't bother. So, having done that, you might notice Kilver can actually shoot through walls, including laser walls, and hit switches like that. And now we have a scary shaft with a bunch of ghouls that I'm going to navigate very slowly and carefully. Let's see. And here we go back to the normal music. What's over here? Diatoms and Nautiluses, that's fine. And that looks terrifying. We can't actually get hurt by it, but we can't go through it either. Is that where the center of the glitchiness is? Over here, you can kind of see this is just a quick shaft with a terrifying spider in it, and a mushroom that connects back through to that vertical shaft we were in earlier, where we entered the area. Still nothing we can do on the left, so I'm not going to bother showing that direction yet. Let's see, I will go to the top here. You can come up here. It's nothing really critical right now, but if you want to come through here, make sure when you're drilling here, you only drill through the top layer, because you can't actually jump that high, but you can jump like that and up here. All that does, though, is take you to the other side of this room, and you still can't jump high enough to do anything there. There is an achievement on Steam and presumably other platforms to get map completion too. I will be showing how to get that. So bear that in mind as you're traveling. There are reasons to visit every square on every map if you want that achievement. But actual progress has to happen over here, through the ghouls, of course. And there are more leveled. And I think this one I can't actually hit from here. I actually have to go melee with Kilver. Here. What is that creepy background noise? And what is that over to the left? Well, we can't do anything with that yet. So we'll just have to come this way. Fight some things. giant piles of bones. Not a pleasant room. Can we go down here? We can, theoretically, but that door's blocked off, and you can't do anything else there, so I'll come back there later. So I guess we have to follow the trail of bones. Giant pile, or small pile, big pile, smaller pile, bigger pile. I know your pattern game. I know what's coming. Yep, there it is. It's almost like someone's trying to scare me. You may be tempted to go digging into the bones. Even if you could get in there, though, there's nothing hidden in there. Don't worry about it. Just fill in the map and move on. And we get even more creepy silence and noises. And it feels like we are getting really close to something really terrifying. Am I right? The bloopiness keeps getting more and more bloopy. And there it is. Skull and red door. Let's go over here first. It is a save point. Very good. I don't want to go into the heart of the bloopiness without saving. You can kind of see the top of this save point too. Again, there's nothing there, don't worry about it. So, what do we have over here? Is it something that talks in Dalek voices? Demon? It is. Talk? Will it actually talk to us at length? Demon? Athenos say kill? Nope. So this is T-Lol. He is nowhere near as scary as the lead-up would suggest. He's very cartoony. And all you have to do is hit him up there, from this platform here. At least that's a fair way of doing it. Or, you can do it the cheap way, which is not that. I wonder what those little red things that come off of you when you die are. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, there's a cutscene the first time you die. Your mind machines get saved. Trace is not a transhumanist. He does not like this idea. There is also an achievement, by the way, for getting through the game with only one death. Which seems oddly specific. Why not 0 deaths? Well, we'll learn more about that later. T-Lol reassures me that this is not a horror game. You go through all that lead up and it's kind of a goofy looking boss straight out of Mega Man. Additionally, you can cheese him just by running straight through and do this. And there is absolutely nothing he can do about it. That is the speedrun way of dealing with T-Lol. The name T-Lol, by the way, according to Google, is a Sumerian word for warrior. You may be noticing a theme, of course. What that means is an exercise I'll leave for you primarily. And that's it. Giant pile of health to recover what I lost there. Absolutely. Nothing over there, don't worry about it. So, what do we have here? Do we get stuff for fighting the boss? It looks like a trap room that's going to teach us a new mechanic, so probably so. This is the address disruptor, which corrupts or decorrupts weaker blocks and enemies. I wonder if there'll be a way to decorrupt stronger blocks eventually. But this gives you a thing like that. For the most part, it doesn't do anything. Don't worry about the weird symbols to the right there. They usually mean nothing. Except for one case that I'll get to later. What this actually does, you can see little bits of flickeriness there if you watch long enough. Those are corrupt addresses, basically. By using the address disruptor, you can modify them. Doesn't help if you fall down after doing it. Also, enemy sprites like these bloopy things that come off the mushroom, you can hack those and they start behaving differently. In this case, you can actually stand on them while they float upward. And if I can jump on the right one... Oh, and your sprite actually freezes when you're standing on something like that. Nice touch. There it goes. Sometimes it freezes, I'm not sure what the difference is. Could ride this all the way up, hit the switch there, and get back out the top, but why? Because progress is over here to the left. Now, don't worry, viewers, you can't jump up there. You're not going to have to try to hack every block in the game. The address disruptor only affects blocks that are already flickering in some visible way. Also, all enemies in the game can be hacked, glitched, whatever, to behave differently. Sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes this makes them more dangerous. All these things do is freeze in place if you hack them, so don't worry about it too much. We get another health node for fighting the boss too. There is actually an achievement for glitching every enemy type in the game. So if you're going for achievements, do your best to do this. Here, we want to glitch both the Hive and the Wasp. The Wasps I don't think do anything except get a little bit scarier. The Hives, though, they actually start shooting out health instead of wasps. So, in some cases, if you see a hive, that might be vaguely useful. So, what's in here? You might be tempted to go around there, but having just gotten the address disruptor, if you know what you're doing, you're going to want to know what happens if you glitch out the diatoms there. And what happens is they carve out new passages. And also damage you, if you're not careful. You do want to kill these before you move on, because there's another one right down here that'll finish this passage. And for exploring the game mechanics, you can come down here, get a size node. I destroyed it too early, but it actually breaks all the way through there to the bottom. Doesn't matter too much because you can just come around here, taking the obvious route. I won't go that way yet, though. When you come through here, make sure you take this door. There are actually 2 doors on the left side of this room, and this one is a save point. This is a very easy section of the map to miss if you're not careful. So, what I'm going to do, now that I have the address disruptor, again, I can go back up by riding the mushrooms, but now that I have the address disruptor, I'm going to go back and get some items that I can now get. I glitch that. I actually cannot glitch the spider yet because it's not a weak enough enemy. That will change later. This one's the one I want. Just want to try to clear out some of these diatoms. We could have come through here before, but would have just led to a dead end with that mushroom thing there. Now, you may be wondering what's going on there with all the glitchy blocks. What's actually happening there, the shuriken-looking thing is actually a Nautilus that is stuck on a glitched block that isn't spawning. So if you're careful, you can actually get the Nautilus to be rescued and destroy immediately. Then you can jump on that block and get your first note of the game. These are the way that in-game lore is relayed to you, apart from dialogue. And we get a reference to Zeter, which you will remember is the first boss. I don't think its name actually means anything. No source I've found gives a meaning for it, but that is the first boss. And someone is being talked to by Zeter. Someone is being taken over by Zeter and given some rather disturbing sensations. Or something. Okay. If you want to review those notes, that is what this other tab here is. That is actually a fairly interestingly accurate description of what it might be like for a conscious being that is digitized to actually be hacked in the way that the address disruptor does. So, interesting. I don't believe I can glitch the ghouls, of course. The ghouls, however, can destroy me. Go away. You can hear a little bit of background noise when you're trying to glitch something that can't be glitched currently. This is the other side of that area underneath the skull room that I went through earlier. You can't get down there. I'm just gonna run past the ghoul. That really destroyed my health, though. I hope I'm gonna be okay with that. Take out that ghoul from a distance? Probably not. There we go, that helps. Still no way to get that note over there, by the way. That one can also be Kilvered from underneath. And I'm just going to run through that door very quickly. By the way, the big glitchiness like that, you can't actually do anything to that yet. So I'm going to come back around here to past the spider. Don't kill me, spider. To this area. You'll remember that I said there's nothing you can do over here. There's also nothing you can do with the skeleton. Over here, you can hack all these diatoms. Very carefully, because I don't want to die. Health? No. You actually don't need to hack them all. And because I'm low on health, I'm going to be careful not to. Because it'll just get too chaotic. Okay, let's try this again. Again, I want to try to take as many of these out as I can. I don't want hacked diatoms flying all over the place. Do remember to actually glitch one of the purple ones while you're in here, though. They do count as a different enemy type from the pink ones for purposes of the achievement. Should be using the Kilver for that. I can glitch you. Note that all of the pink material in here can be broken by the diatoms once they're hacked, but there's really no reason to do most of it. The only part that really matters is this pillar over here that's actually blocking your path. Then with that gone, you can safely blow them up. Then come through here and get another heart container, power container, piece of power. No, that's something else. Ow. Okay, so that's one thing you can get once you get the address disruptor. Then we get to go all the way up this vertical shaft again. Not that way. I do that every time. Absu actually is fairly non-linear once you get in here, as you would expect from Metroidvania. There are a lot of paths you can take through here, and a couple different ways that you can actually order things. The main points of it, though, still end up kind of linear, but it feels at least pretty non-linear. So I'm going to wander back up into Ereboo really quick here. We'll note that it's a lot more satisfying to break the Norfair bubbles now that we have the Kilver. You think that's satisfying, viewers? Just wait. Now that we're over here, the red Scissor Peaks, not to be confused with purple Scissor Peaks or any other type. Before you trigger them, make sure you glitch them, and then, when they do that, they leave behind a trail of Norfair bubbles that you can then use to platform on. That is how you get to the upper half of this room. Ow. Forgot about that one. The Kilver, I can just do that. Then here I can drop down, it'll miss me. Get my second health node fragment. Oh, and the health node fragments actually do restore your health too, apparently. Lucky for me. So that's the only new thing we can do in Ereboo at this point, so I'm just going to wander on back down. There is actually an achievement also for breaking 10,000 Norfair bubbles or something, or 10,000 breakable blocks, of which the Norfair bubbles are the most obvious example. So there is actually a reason to go through there obsessively kilvering every block. Then, speaking of the Kilver, first of all, we have these broccoli things we can hack now, right? Yep. I don't know if they become a little less aggressive when you hack them, so that's something. The name the wiki gives those broccoli things, by the way, is actually herbivorous shrub or something. Parasitic shrub, sorry. Whatever. They look like broccoli to me, as does this one. Kilver. Kilver. I just re-hotkeyed it. Kilver on number 2, please. Thank you. There we go. Now that I have the Kilver, I can come over here, open that up, and get health, power, health node fragment 3 of 5. And then, the exciting thing about doing all this is I can go back to title, save my progress, and then I restart the save. I end up back on the right side of Absu, where I saved previously. That is called save warping. It is actually a technique that is relevant in speedrunning if you choose to do that, and it's mildly useful even in normal gameplay sometimes. It's probably better just to save your progress in case you die, but whatever. I think that's all I'm going to do for this episode, so I will continue with the rest of Absu and whatever comes afterwards next time. Thank you for watching, and good night.